It's fall. It's festive. It's the Bayfield Apple Festival. Live from Bayfield, this is Northern News Now.
Well, these beautiful fall colors and crisp temperatures can only mean one thing. It's time to celebrate the 61st annual Apple Fest here in Bayfield, Wisconsin. Good evening, I'm Briggs LaSavage.
And I'm Dan Wolf. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to be sitting here once again on top of the Bayfield Inn in downtown Bayfield, bringing you the sights, sounds, smells, and tastes of Apple Fest. It's a little brisk, but that's tradition, you know?
A little windy, but I'm told nicer than last year. A little warmer anyways. We're seeing some hats out here tonight, maybe some mittens, even a winter jacket for the first time this season. But folks seem to be loving it here in Bayfield already.
Yeah, still some pretty good crowds, even with the rain we had a little bit earlier today. People just taking in all that Bayfield has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam's going to be here in a minute with a full forecast of what we can expect this weekend here in Apple Fest. The weather sure has varied over the 6 decades of this event, which has become a huge tradition for the entire Northland.
Yeah, this is a big deal for the whole region. The event's happening behind us down on the streets of Bayfield, and it has a long history. Back in 1962, orchard owner Walter Jimmy Erickson suggested the town sponsor an apple festival. He wanted to help publicize the Bayfield area's orchards. Well, that first year for Apple Fest, about 4,000 people showed up. Today, tens of thousands of people come to check out the food and craft vendors downtown, tour the local orchards, and enjoy their harvest. Again, that fun is underway tonight here in Bayfield, but some of the biggest crowds are expected Saturday and Sunday for some of the main events like the Grand Parade.
Yeah, and as Dan was mentioning, we certainly have a beautiful view of it all from here on the rooftop of the Bayfield Inn. They've been our location for our live newscast for the Apple Festival for years now, and we are so thankful for their hospitality again today. Located in the heart of downtown Bayfield, the inn has more than 20 luxury hotel rooms with on-site dining options, as well as several vacation rentals throughout town, too. In addition to all those amenities, breathtaking views of the harbor and Lake Superior keep people coming back year after year. Truly a beautiful spot.
Yeah, we've got a lot planned for you here in the show, including some interviews with folks down there. I think Hunter and Adam are going to be doing some taste testing for us. But first, we want to throw it back to the studio. Ryan Haff is there to give us our news of the day. Ryan?
Thank you, Dan and Briggs. Sadly, we do have to begin with some somber news. One person is dead and another is seriously injured after a crash just outside of Duluth. This was the scene on Martin Road in Rice Lake around 9 o'clock this morning. According to the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office, a minivan was pulled off to the side of the road and started to make a U-turn. However, a flatbed tow truck that was traveling in the same direction ended up hitting the van. Jason and Paul Larson, both of Duluth, were in the vehicle. 42-year-old Jason Larson was driving the van. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Meanwhile, 78-year-old Paul Larson, who was in the passenger seat, died at the scene. The tow truck driver was not injured, and authorities are still investigating this crash. Part of Martin Road was closed for several hours this morning. However, it is now back open. In other news, women face a lot of gaps, whether that's a pay gap or an accessibility gap. But a race in Duluth this weekend is hoping to help bridge those gaps and even the playing field. The Duluth Women's 10-mile race is taking place tomorrow. It is a fundraiser for the Bridging the Gap Fund, which gives back to women hoping to build or grow their local businesses. Runners start at Hawk Ridge and finish down at Leif Erikson Park, and our very own Briggs LaSavage will be emceeing that event. The first finishers are expected shortly after 9 a.m. tomorrow. Donations can be made to the Bridging the Gap Fund through this Wednesday. Let's take a live look at Amsoil Arena tonight, where the UMD Bulldog hockey teams are kicking off their seasons this weekend. You can watch all of the games live on the My9 Sports Network. The Bulldog women's hockey team is hosting the Long Island Sharks tonight. You can catch that action at 6. The Bulldog women play again tomorrow afternoon at 3. Then the Bulldog men's hockey team hosts their season opener tomorrow at 7 against Michigan Tech. Once again, all of those games are airing on My9. You can, of course, find today's top stories on our website at northernnewsnow.com. But let's send things back out to Bayfield and turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch. Adam, I know you were enjoying some food at the 4 o'clock hour. What are you up to now?
You know what? I'm still kind of full from the food that I've already eaten. I've already had apple brats and I've had cheese curds. just amazing food here, of course, and also some whitefish, the blackened whitefish with dirty rice. Nothing to sleep on. We got fry bread behind me to my left. We got Lake Superior behind me to my right. You got all the food, you got all the views, you got great weather out here actually as well. It's turned out to be a fantastic afternoon. So let's take a look at some radar really quick. We do have some of those scattered rain showers. We've been dodging kind of on and off here as we've head through the afternoon, and even some small hail with some of these cells that have moved through, but nothing super significant. Hasn't really dampened anyone coming out to Bayfield for Applefest. It is absolutely a beautiful evening, if it weren't for the wind. I will say that. So definitely layer up if you're going to be outside here tonight. Winds are still gusting upwards of 20 to 35 miles per hour. But your Bayfield Applefest forecast for tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy, and a high of 50. Sunday, high of 49, a slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy. But most importantly, it's not going to be as windy this weekend. So dealing with the wind here tonight a little bit. May see a stray shower or two as we head through the weekend, but I wouldn't let it damper anyone's plans on trying to come out and check out Applefest. It's definitely a good time for all. But yeah, I'll go search out some food maybe and get back to you guys in a little bit.
Well, you've already had cheese curds,
apple
fish,
brats.
brats,
Come on.
and we've got nothing. So we look forward to you getting to work and actually sharing some. Hope to see you soon.
All right,
Yeah,
I suppose.
Thank you. All right, sounds good. We'll see you in a bit. Well, Applefest is rich in history and tradition, as we've been saying, but a lot of what happens here in Bayfield really gets going before the event begins.
Yeah, every year an Applefest queen or king is chosen to represent Bayfield. This year it's Elvira Albert. She's a junior at Bayfield High School and a member of the Redcliffe Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. Her family both owns and lives on the Pratt Farm. Elvira will be celebrated during a special coronation tomorrow. That's going to be at 7 p.m. at Bayfield Memorial Park. And a big congrats to her from all of us here at Northern News Now.
And you might also see Elvira during the Applefest Parade, which is Sunday. And you'll surely see the Grand Marshals, who this year is a couple that's called Bayfield home their entire lives. Mary Jo and Alan Rabideau were high school sweethearts. They've been married for 63 years. They've also owned Rabideau Orchard most of that time. Parade organizers weighed in and thought their longtime dedication to the community would make them perfect Grand Marshals for this year's parade. The Rabideaus say they were surprised and very grateful to be nominated.
Because we represent the Applefest in Bayfield.
Yeah.
And we've been here long enough so that I think everybody knows who we are.
Yeah, I'll say. You can't find a better, beautiful spot than Bayfield.
Now, the Rabideaus say they have a big variety of apples on their 35 acres, including Cortland, McIntosh, and Honeycrisp. They still do a lot of their work on their own, but say they're thankful for their adult children's help. And folks like the Rabideaus have seen Applefest from the very beginning. They know Bayfield is rich in history, but the community stays changing still to this day as well.
Yeah, built at the turn of the century, the St. James Hotel has been an historic landmark in Bayfield for a long time now. The 139-year-old building sat vacant for many years until now. Located on Rittenhouse Avenue in the heart of Bayfield, the fully remodeled St. James Social is a boutique hotel, social lounge, and lobby bar. And Elisa Burmel has deep roots to the Bayfield area, spending her summers here growing up. This past spring, she returned with her own family and purchased the building. They hope visitors will fall in love with the historic charm of the hotel and the town.
At the heart of it is hospitality, like good old-fashioned hospitality that runs thick through my veins. I can't help but to want to be a storyteller, to want to create unique experiences, and to just take care of people in beautiful spaces.
The hotel features a lobby bar and kitchen and social lounge all on the first floor. Then there's also 8 signature rooms on the second floor, along with a communal coffee bar and sauna. And you can't forget the rooftop with panoramic views. Very beautiful.
Yeah, and speaking of views, you know, behind us right now, you can see the crowds and everyone having fun with the festival. We can actually see the water right now. And part of the shoreline here in Bayfield is getting its own renovation next week.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. And historic gazebo is actually coming down on Monday. I asked the ladies behind the project about why this was such an important feat for them to take on. The year was 1913, and a group of 28 Bayfield women set out on a mission.
In March of that year, they formed the Bayfield Women's Civic League. And the first thing they did, and they had it completed within 6 months, was to have this gazebo built.
And incredibly, this symbol of their strength.
You've got to remember, this is 1913. This is 7 years before the ladies could even vote.
Still sits on Bayfield's shores today.
This is the original structure. It's 110 years old.
Even so, a century in some and weather's wear and tear haven't been kind to Bayfield's historic gazebo, leaving her with an unsteady foundation and other structural stress.
It's been on this space through 19 presidential administrations, from Woodrow Wilson to Joe Biden. And it's still here standing, but we want to make sure it's standing for future generations, and that's why we're taking on this project.
So come Monday, Marilyn Van Sant and the rest of today's Bayfield Civic League will carry on those original 28 women's torch. They'll be taking down this gazebo and replacing it with an identical one, preserving pieces of the original along the way.
And here it is standing here as a testimony to what those women were all about. And so our role as a Civic League of 2023 is to preserve what they have provided for generations of people.
It's just really an important structure.
A piece of South Shore history that the Bayfield Civic League's president hopes to see live on for centuries to come.
When you see pictures of Bayfield, many times they take a picture of the waterfront and the gazebo's right there with it. So without it, it just wouldn't be the same.
Someone called it Bayfield's living room, and I think that's a good way to describe it. It is where we gather.
Well, many local companies are donating their time to this project. It still is estimated to cost about $100,000. So the Bayfield Civic League has been raising money to keep up with those costs. If you want to donate, we have a GoFundMe linked on our website. I just thought it was so cool that they called it Bayfield's living room. It was so true when we were doing those interviews. So many people stopped, sat down, had some conversations, and it's truly a communal space in the heart of the area down here.
If you're here, you have to go visit 19 presidential administrations.
Yeah.
That's some history right there. Well, we've got a lot more coming up for you here at 5 o'clock. I sat down with an apple peeling contest winner, actually 2 winners. They're married and they're going to be competing this year. Their story after the break.
You're watching Northern News Now, live from the Bayfield Apple Festival.
Well, before all the festivities started here, the locals got a taste of all the fun. They held the annual apple pie and dessert tasting event at Bayfield's Lakeside Pavilion last week. Local bakers submitted their finest apple pies or apple-themed desserts. Then a lucky group of judges got to taste them all and crown a champ. Ryan Half and Hunter McCullough were happy to help with that effort. Hunter's pick was an apple crisp, while Ryan stuck to the traditional homemade apple pie. And to make all of those sweet treats, Dan, you need to peel a lot of apples.
You certainly do.
Yeah, there's actually an apple peeling contest that's part of Apple Fest here.
It's a big deal. It's tough. All you get is a small knife in an hour to make the longest apple peel possible. And after many failed attempts of my own, I decided it was time to meet the pros who are involved in this. Check it out. I sat down with 2 longtime bitter rivals of the peeling contest, married couple, Brent McFarland and Frances Whitfield. They decided to join the competition on a whim when they started dating 14 years ago. Well, now he's a 5-time champion. She's a 3-time champion. Each one of their victories is loudly held over the other's head.
So the first year I peeled 97 inches and Brent peeled 18.
Got 3rd place. She's very competitive.
There is a lot of trash talk that happens between these two, and it's fantastic. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, hear their unique love story that began with an Apple Fest competition 14 years ago and continues on to this day.
Welcome back. I'm here on Rittenhouse Avenue, just underneath the Bayfield Inn, where Dan and Briggs are standing. And of course, you know, I had to do what everyone comes to Apple Fest for, and that's get some get some apples. We got some good Honeycrisp apples here, of course. Can't wait to dig into these. Maybe I'll eat them as is. Maybe my wife will make a wonderful apple pie. Who knows, but they're going to be delicious regardless. Not a super busy day here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Definitely busier days here for Applefest, and the weather's actually looking pretty good for that. So let's jump right in, take a look at what we have going on weather-wise out there. Starting off with satellite and radar, we have been dodging some scattered showers here and there, on and off throughout the day. Not really seeing any rain in Bayfield right now, which is good. Duluth also looking fairly clear, and we should continue to see maybe a couple more scattered showers on and off tonight, mostly in central Minnesota and along the South Shore out towards the UP. Tomorrow morning, going to be starting off with partly sunny conditions and then mostly cloudy in the afternoon. Expecting a chance of some more pop-up showers, but not everyone will see rain tomorrow. Just maybe bring a rain jacket or umbrella if you do plan on coming down to Applefest tomorrow, just in case. The good news is it's not going to be nearly as windy. In fact, even right now that I say it, the wind has noticeably calmed down a little bit compared to what we had earlier today. And winds should continue to remain pretty calm into Sunday, but again, into Sunday, a chance of a few more scattered showers for some folks. And winds will kind of switch from the northwest to more out of the east and northeast as we head into the afternoon. So we'll be dealing with a little bit of that lake breeze here in Bayfield. But into Monday should clear things out and we'll see some sunshine. Right now we're sitting in the 40s and 50s across the region. 47 degrees in Duluth. We got 50 in Hayward, 39 up in Grand Marais right now. So that is a little bit on the chilly side. 48 degrees up in International Falls. Now for tonight, temperatures will be dropping down to around that freezing level. Some patchy frost certainly is a possibility this evening. So if you do want to try to keep those gardens and plants going, cover them up, bring them inside. But honestly, we're coming to the end of growing season. We're going to be seeing several nights ahead where temperatures drop down to around or below freezing. So our gardening days might be numbered. But tomorrow, some 40s and 50s for highs, low 50s that is, so mostly 40s. Definitely going to feel like fall. So still going to need a light jacket if you're going to be outside at all here tomorrow. As we head into Sunday, high 49 degrees, we'll continue to see that chance of some scattered rain. Monday, some sunshine with high 48. We'll see 49 on Tuesday. Some sunshine to start off next week with some low 50s to end the week. And looking at some chances of rain to end the week as well. But overall, fantastic weather for Applefest. Come on down, enjoy some wonderful food. Some of my favorite food of the year of all the fairs that I go to is right here at Applefest. So come check it out. And Dan and Briggs, I'll work on, there's still tons of food for me to try, so I'll work on trying to bring you guys something.
Yeah, if it's not for that yummy food, I think it's going to be those pretty decent temperatures, bringing a lot of people out to Applefest this weekend. Should be a great time. Thanks, Adam.
And still to come, I hear Hunter McCullough laughing.
Somewhere. He could be blocks away. He laughs.
That means he's within 10 miles of this location. When we come back, we're going to find him, see what kind of trouble he's getting into. Stay with us.
Welcome back to beautiful Bayfield, Wisconsin. We're having so much fun here at Applefest. Just a little bit chilly, a little bit windy today, but nothing we can't handle. We dressed appropriately.
As usual, no one's having more fun than our own Hunter McCullough, whose laugh you can hear from miles around. We want to go live to him right now. Hunter, I imagine you found some good food and some good people. Introduce us to them both.
You're darn right. Life is good right now in Hunter McCullough's world. I'm taking a page out of Adam Lorch's book. He just gets to do weather this year. I get to actually try all the food and stuff. I might bring some up to you guys. I might not. I'm going to see what happens here. But ladies and gentlemen, we have Ezra here with the Fry Bread Shack. How are you doing this fine afternoon, Ezra?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And so you've been here a few different years now. I think Adam's actually talked to you before. How many years have you been here?
We've been here 3 years.
3 years? Okay. And you have all sorts of different kinds of things. It's a fry bread shack. So what is fry bread?
Fry bread is dough that we fry right here in our deep fryer. So we have our own special recipe that we make, and then we fry it right here in the Fry Bread Shack. We have fry bread tacos, burgers, hot dogs, fry bread, and fry bread apple bites and strawberry bites.
My gosh, that sounds amazing. And this is a staple right here that he's bringing out to me. What is this particularly right here with the whipped cream?
This is a strawberry or apple bite right here.
Okay.
This is the special one we make right here for Applefest. We pick the apples right here in Bayfield, and then we make our filling and put it over fry bread.
That looks amazing. I'm going to try it right here. Obviously, I mean, come on, look at that. So you got the apples, you got the whipped cream. Look at that. Oh, that's a big bite. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Don't spill an air, Hunter. Oh, man. It's like a circus in my mouth. That's fantastic. You got the softness. Okay, and then you got this, the taco, right?
Fry bread taco.
We got a little bit of time here. Okay, here we go. That's amazing. Ezra, thank you very much for joining us here today. Applefest is going to be going here for a couple of days now, and come on down and check these guys out. I might not bring you guys any. I can't promise that this is going to be left over by the time the 5 o'clock is over.
We can
sorry,
see you
guys.
right down there.
You're
so if
right
you don't
there.
make it up here with the food, we know what happened.
But also, I don't know that I want it. You've infected it with your cooties. You put your fork in both of them. Come on.
I've been eating.
I'll still eat it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have waited. Maybe I'll try to get more.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll hold you to it. Thank you, Hunter.
We'll be right back after the break.
All right, so we gave Hunter a lot of grief, but he delivered.
He did.
Look at all this food. We got fry bread.
Yeah, a strawberry fry bread that Hunter was trying, and now I get to try. So I'm very excited about that. We're going to give it a go here. Oh, whoa. It is the perfect kind of messy.
Hey,
I
that's
love
one
this.
nacho.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh, that strawberry jam.
That's really good.
That's so good.
Very good. And the folks at Erickson's Orchard, real nice to us too.
So since I'm a healthy person, I've got apples while you eat that, and I'm going to enjoy some apples and go low-cal here today.
There you
Oh, good for you, Dan.
I'm definitely going to eat that. Just
Okay. I'll be having this whole donut. There's been a whole ton of food, a whole ton of fun here at Applefest. It's only day one. There's still 2 more days of this.
It's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah.
And coming up at 6 o'clock, you get to meet that apple peeling couple
Yes.
who talk a lot of smack to each other. So get ready for that story.
Can't wait for that.
It'll be fun. We're going to keep eating. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.